one of the top performing ETFs for the year, and I called it 7 months ago. That is investing in the KRBN ETF. There are two camps when it comes to this thesis. The first asks the question, you can invest in carbon emissions? Definitely watch my KRBN ETF investing video if you haven't seen it already. If you already know about this thesis, well then I'll say what a time to be invested in carbon. Carbon allowances have been on a tear. The KRBN ETF that tracks carbon pricing has nearly doubled this year. Let's have a conversation about what's new with carbon and where prices are headed next. I'm Skylar James, welcome back to the channel. I promise that every minute of this video will be worth your time. Let me hit you with the most important stuff first. Yes, I still think KRBN is a buy. Yes, it still has more room to run, not only for the next 2 or 3 years, but for a decade or more. Yes, some localized political risk is creating volatility, which we'll cover shortly, but the momentum for KRBN is stronger than the drag. And I think the volatility is just the chance to buy KRBN at a discount. Now to the details, and please hit that like button if you're a fan of details. KRBN has been one of the best performing ETFs of the year. When I published my original video in May of 2021, KRBN was trading at $36.40. Today, it's hovering in the high 40s to low 50s. Sorry to say I have to give you that range instead of the exact price of KRBN because the ETF is experiencing heavy volatility as we close out the year, including single days dropping 10%. So what's the volatility all about? To understand it requires remembering that KRBN is a collection of futures contracts for carbon allowances. And these carbon allowances come from different countries and regions around the world. As a country or region experiences volatility, KRBN will also become volatile. KraneShares, the ETF issuer, rebalances which allowances KRBN contains, and they do that twice a year. In other words, Crane has experts rearranging our allowance exposure to maximize our profits. That's sweet. Here's what the rebalance looks like in reality. On the left is what the KRBN portfolio looked like in May of 2021, and on the right is what it looks like now. We see that those 2021 contracts have been phased out since May. We see the EU allowances were scaled down a bit overall. California was scaled up and UK allowances were added, but still KRBN as of today is about 60% EU carbon. So trimmers in the EU market will affect KRBN more than trimmers in Regi or California. Now check out the price chart for KRBN. This volatility is centered around the expiration of futures contracts happening this month, right now in the EU. We're seeing big moves up and down as commodities traders take profits. At the same time, certain nations in the EU are complaining that speculators like us are ruining the ETS. Now these complaints aren't a surprise for me and probably not for you if you watch my carbon videos as I release them. Remember, subscribers get notified first when I release a new video, so hit that subscribe to stay informed. In October, we talked about gas companies asking for an intervention to keep speculators like you and me out of the carbon markets. Those requests were rejected by the governing body. Now, the Polish government continues to stir the pot, filling new complaints in recent weeks about speculators in the EU ETS. My opinion, there is nothing Poland can do to derail this train. The carbon market is functioning as it's intended, and the regulating bodies seem to agree. Remember, the price of carbon needs to rise to discourage emissions and promote clean energy investments. Poland is a small country in the grand scheme of the EU and one of the biggest burners of coal. So none of us should be surprised that they are complaining and not getting anywhere with their complaints. Just a reminder, this year's crazy expensive natural gas prices and the fears of a colder than average winter are partly responsible for the rise in carbon prices. Normally, it works like this. Natural gas is cheaper than coal for generating power. Coal is dirty too, so not only is coal more expensive than gas, coal producers also need to buy EU allowances to burn it. Now gas prices are very high. The cost of burning gas and coal is about the same for power producers. And suddenly coal is back in the mix, and coal power plants are gobbling up extra allowances, driving up our investment in KRBN. Analysts and experts see the price of carbon in the EU blowing past 100 euros per ton. As I've told you in the previous videos, some analysts are now saying that EU carbon could reach 400 euros per ton. That's insane. Keep in mind what the overall investment thesis in carbon allowances looks like. Governments issue these allowances each year to big polluting businesses. Every year after, the government issues a little less allowances than the year before. So less supply, and any company that wants to go above its allowances needs to head to the ETS, the emission trading system, and buy additional allowances at the market price. We are in the market with them, driving up the price. Eventually, so few allowances will exist, and the price for them on the open market will be so high, they'll be cheaper for companies to pollute less instead of going to the market for permission to pollute more CO2. Let's bounce around the globe a little. Let's start in the UK. Remember from my previous carbon video that the UK now has its own ETS. For years, the UK was part of the EU's ETS, but not anymore thanks to Brexit. UKAs, as they're called, seem to hit a new all-time high every single week. UKAs make up about 5.5% of KRBN as of the November rebalance. I expect UKAs to generally mirror EUAs, and time will tell if that's the right guess or not. Back on this side of the pond, California allowances continued their march higher, just like the other regions we touched on. And there's a new way to speculate in the carbon markets. Ticker KCCA is a Crane Shares ETF that tracks the California allowances exclusively. With carbon only costing between $25 and $30 a ton in the Golden State, there is plenty of runway left for this thesis. Crane Shares also gave us an EU exclusive ETF. Ticker there is KEUA. If you're feeling extra bullish on EU carbon, maybe KEUA is a good choice for you. As always, become a subscriber, leave a comment if you're interested in videos around this thesis. Thanks for watching, and I'll see you on the next one.